Welcome to Write That Down, a Probetus podcast. I'm your host, Matt Fisher. It is men's button-down shirt Thursday. To my left in his button-down shirt is the one and only Phil Irwin. And across from me is an unbuttoned button-down shirt, Mark Jensen.
Hello.
And to my right is a non-button-down shirt, Chrissy Lund.
I didn't get the message.
Neither did we. It's podcast day. We just know what to wear instinctually.
I have Probetus.
I mean,
Probetus.
Yeah, we're Probetus. I've got my Probetus too. Phil?
No, mine's just a plain white undershirt.
You're not wearing a Probetus shirt today?
Bella.
I bought it.
Is that a Probetus shirt, the one you're wearing?
Yeah, so
It's a Tommy Hilfiger.
it's a Bella Canvas undershirt, so I did get it through Probetus. And this is a Tommy Hilfiger overshirt, which I also got through Probetus.
I don't believe it.
For
because
shame.
it doesn't say Probetus.
Yeah, I agree.
And we'll never know because it doesn't say Probetus. I mean,
Fired.
His word
I'm
word
not
means
showing
something
you guys
to us.
nothing.
Is there a logo on the shirt?
No.
Fired.
Fired. We'll take a vote.
Is that how it's going to be like, what was that show on?
This is Write That Down, Survivor.
It's Survivor.
Hell
That's what I'm
yes,
looking for.
he
We're
must
gonna-
go.
Every at the end of the year, we're gonna have like a fire scene.
You're
and
fired.
Yeah, a fire scene.
The tribe
that's-
has spoken.
That's Donald Trump,
Right.
isn't it?
You're fired.
Yeah. If I.
Fired.
Yeah, you gotta have the accent.
I'm not from New York. New York.
Obviously.
Welcome everyone to the show.
He's the Godfather.
No,
I'm trying my best here.
Matt Fisher's here. He's a great guy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your support.
Huge.
Now I just sound congested, so I won't do that again.
Let's move on.
Oh, well, I would like to start the show with a question. And that question, this was one of the questions where I gave everybody a chance to think about it, because if we were to think about it on the spot, there'd be way too much math. And we've talked about math
No,
before. And
I didn't do any
wouldn't go
homework.
well. You
Yeah.
didn't?
This
No.
is the first time. I remember
I
reading
sent it to you, right?
I forgot.
2 days ago,
I
Matt.
did.
Mark did it.
I did homework.
Oh,
Phil did
son
it.
of a-
No,
okay.
So now you're okay.
No.
So
Hit
you'll
me.
go. No, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'm on the spot. I have no idea what the question is.
Okay. Well, the question is, this is actually, for those of you who are counting, our 25th episode. So we had 3 episodes in our first, we won't even call it a season. We'll just call it like a pilot, try it out.
Yeah.
And we had 6 episodes in our second season. 9 episodes last season where we added Chrissy to the crew.
Whoop, whoop.
And this is our 7th episode this season. So I did math, and I'm not going to say whether I used a calculator or not to confirm. But this is indeed our 25th episode. So the question for you, if you don't want some time to think about it,
Hit me. Let's just do it.
like serious math, are you ready
It's
for
math
this?
problem?
Well, you're going to have to go like this.
Okay. I got my gazintas ready.
Okay, I don't know. Is that a hand?
That
I
is-
don't know.
What is a gazinta?
That's how you count. 1 gazinta, 2
Oh.
gazinta.
I thought it was food because now I'm hungry.
Okay, anyway.
I'll
I don't just.
I say like one
Large order of
1,000 too,
gazintas,
but that's
please.
how.
I have.
Mark, have you heard of a gazinta?
No.
Is it Russian?
I don't know.
All right. Well, okay. So
I don't
here's
make
the
the rules.
question. So since it's our 25th episode, let's take a trip back in time when you were 25 years old.
Oh.
Okay. So think of the year and name something big that happened either in the world
Oh yeah.
or in your life during that year. So, and
20. I was 25 in 2004.
okay, you don't need to say that. So people,
I don't
but
care.
She don't care.
I don't care.
All right, so 2004, you were 25.
Yep.
And what was something big that happened to you, or is that something you can remember in the world in 2004?
I don't remember anything in the world.
Okay.
Must not have been that exciting. I got married that year,
Okay.
but not to Jamie.
Oh no!
You really should have read this ahead of time, and then you could have said like, well,
It wasn't a good
maybe-
year.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a good year, but it didn't pan out. So,
Okay. So are we going to go with that?
sure, I don't.
I got
That's
married.
what happened when I was 25.
Okay.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
because I know this relates.
I honestly, mine kind of.
Did you marry
too,
Phil?
so-
No, I did not marry Phil.
Phil, go ahead.
So when I was 25, it was 2009. I also got married that year.
Honestly, that's insane
The difference is they're still married.
because, for real,
Yeah, we're still married.
that you got married that year. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Because honestly,
2009.
so when I was 25, that was January of 2005 or 2006 for me. I was
Okay.
25 years old because I was born in 1980, but in December, so I didn't turn 26 until December. So I was technically 25 for most of 2006. So I consider that my 25th year on this planet. And I also
That's
got
crazy.
married
No,
in January of 2006.
and you are still together.
And I'm
let's,
still married.
let's
25.
put that all out there.
I'm
You
still
guys
married.
are still
Yeah,
married.
we're still married.
I mean,
Now,
technically I'm married,
you're married,
but not to the same person
to
I
said
married
person
in
in 2005.
Yes. Anyway,
Mark Jensen, how about you?
I read the question
tell
wrong.
me you got married.
I had answers. I read the
He's
question
even
as
got, look at, okay, can you show that in your hands?
Oh, he
So
has
he even
notes.
like he's got
Yes.
notes. He's like, Chrissy's not gonna one up me.
No.
She like came into it with like facts from China
did,
and
yeah.
all this stuff. Mark's like, okay,
And you know
so,
what?
You only get that once.
But get this. I read the question as something that happened 25 years ago, not when you're 25.
Yeah, but
so I
isn't
read
that
what
25
happened
years ago for
Yeah.
you?
No.
Oh, I just
in
got an evil look.
1998. That's what I did. So because I was actually probably 27.
All right, tell us what happened.
In 1998, Google was founded.
Oh,
And that's why I found my answer. And the other thing is, guess what happened on March 27th, 1998? Anybody have a guess?
it's 3 days before your birthday.
I have no idea. I was.
The FDA approved Viagra.
Oh, my.
Those are my two facts that happened 25 years ago.
So I mean,
And he
honestly,
got
March
married.
27th, 1998.
honestly, when I came in today, I missed a belt loop in my pants, so I had to like take my belt off a little bit, and then it got all like, "Oh, what kind of show is this?" And I'm like, "No, it's a Christian show, and we're talking about how good this is and all this stuff." And then Viagra comes out, and you know what? We're 7 minutes in, and it's.
Are you sure
We're off the
Viagra,
rails.
Viagra didn't just come up?
Oh my
my
gosh.
God.
Here I am.
Oh my gosh.
Smile.
I remember the commercials for.
No, that's Bob.
Oh yeah,
that's
that was
right.
Bob from Inside.
Insight. Okay, yeah, that's right.
What was Insight? Is that the same sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Different
Bob's
company.
wife was very happy.
Yep.
Okay. What about the Viagra commercials?
I don't remember that.
Wasn't it Bob Dole? Who wasn't he a spokesperson for a while?
FYI, I've met Bob Dole.
He's no
Okay.
longer living.
I know, but I met him in 1997, 96,
Before Viagra.
96.
Before he was spokesperson.
Okay, and the reason Phil said he's still not living is because like we had another conversation. We should like have like pre-show conversations because we were talking about people who are now deceased that were like, are they still alive or not? And one that Mark said was
Larry King.
Larry King, and we're like, yeah.
And
so-
I was trying to think of Andy Rooney's name, and it just came to me. You know what I hate?
Is this like the one where we're doing? Is everybody gonna have to
You
do
can
some
do the
sort
Andy
of
Rooney. I'm gonna try my
impression?
Trump again.
Do your try.
Why don't you interview Trump? Like we'll have Andy Rooney interview Donald Trump.
Andy, I really appreciate you bringing me on the show today.
I can do one thing. You know what I hate?
This is the greatest show, maybe the greatest show that was ever made.
What else do you hate, Andy?
He hated everything. That's why he was the best.
Oh, brother. All right, so I feel like that I went down a path, and I'm glad we took the path together one step at a time. So thank you all for participating in when you were 25
Thank you very
or
much.
25 years ago for Mark, which so now do the math, Mark, if you want to.
Yeah, 2 more
When
years.
you were 25, what year would that be?
1996.
Okay, 96. Do you have anything that you would like to throw out there besides your 98?
What were you doing at 25, Mark?
Gosh, I have to stop to think. Oh, you know what? I was working at the newspaper.
Up in,
'Cause I-
up in Park
Park
River.
River. Yeah, I graduated from college like in 94, so I would have been at the newspaper. And you know what? I can't remember if 96 is the one I ran for the legislature.
Did you win? Oh,
That's,
No.
yeah, that
No,
was it.
he didn't
But
win.
that was an election year.
Yeah, so I might have been.
Mark,
year I
I
ran
would have
for
Unless
voted
it was
for you.
90, it could have been 94. Would you have been 23 running for legislature?
I'm trying to think. I worked in the 90. No, I would have worked in the 93 legislature.
And I could tell it was a long
yeah,
time
so
ago.
it's like 95, 96. Because I wanted to say I worked in the 93 legislature, and I ran after that.
All right.
I would have voted for you, but I was 15.
So for those of you who don't know, Mark Jensen he's worked many jobs, which we've talked about a lot of them. And I get to hear a lot of these stories when we meet with clients. And we were meeting with a client this week, and he was talking about some of his newspaper stories. Would you like to give a story from the newspaper, potentially without names and...
Oh, my favorite story?
yeah,
That I said the other day.
Let's go with the favorite one.
Well, we had a subscriber who thought that our newspaper should be writing like, we were at the New York Times, big newspaper, not realizing her husband was originally from Park River. And every week she would circle all her mistakes.
Oh my!
Or like obituaries.
In red? Yeah.
Because she took an obituary class, how to write obituaries down south, and we did not write our obituaries properly. And she kept on doing this, and she'd circle with red ink, and sometimes she started sending the stuff to the paper without signed. And then she started bringing them in signed and say, oh, you did this wrong, circle, 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 you should have done this terminology, circle, or this tense. So finally, the one day she came in and to get her subscription renewed. So she wrote the check for $34 to the paper, handed it to me, and I casually handed her a check back. And she said, well, I'm paying for my subscription. I said, no, you're not getting a subscription. I said, if you read the paper just to critique, I said, I'm out of high school. And I said, you're going to run out of red ink. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to let you resubscribe, but I want to. I'm like, no, the paper is not to be criticized every week.
And this is, what was it, the Park River what?
It was the Walsh County Press.
The Walsh County Press. Ooh. And how many employees were working at the Walsh County Press at that time?
Probably full-time, 2 of us.
2, okay.
With our part-time and freelance people, probably a total of 4. So okay. I was the editor. I was a photographer sometimes. I sold some advertising. I was a janitor. I have
a question.
All of it, yeah. And she just kept on. And then you know what happened? Her husband, he was a very nice guy. He came in once afterwards, and he just said, yep. And I said, I'll renew the subscription for you. And he kind of knew what he was dealing with. So
I have a question.
Yep.
Did you write all your articles, or did you get like articles sent to you from national news that you just printed?
No, most of them were like written. We had like our feature stories every week, like the front page. And of course, we'd have some like that canned news from across the state.
Okay.
But, like our front page was always like feature stories or stuff going on in the community,
local
whether it's
news.
city council. Yep.
Fascinating.
That's
a
good question, and it brings up a question I have, but I will go to Phil first.
Hey, I appreciate that. Where does one take
You're welcome, Phil.
a how to write an obituary class?
Apparently down
See,
south.
you message that.
University of Tennessee caller. She might even be dead herself now, so I don't know. But
the irony.
Like that.
Correcting.
It baffles my mind that is.
Yeah.
Like in a class too, like she went to school for that. Like.
Yep, she claimed she studied that in a class. And we also had just one other one. We also had the lady who was her grandson, whenever he was going to get an award at school, her grandchildren, she'd call the newspaper and say, I heard there's a big award being given away today at the high school. Oh, there is? Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody's going to be covering anything up at the school today. Oh, well, the school will let me know if I need to be there. And then the next couple days there, did you know there's going to be an award given away at the city council meeting? And then whenever her grandson, finally I figured out who she was, so I just called her by name and said, you know what, if you keep on calling, I'm not going to show up.
Oh, harsh.
Wow.
Did you know what? Lesson in life with the newspaper. Never get in an argument with the person who owns the ink barrel because we have the last word.
I feel like I should write that down.
I'm thinking that you
Start a
should
mark
write that.
page.
Like, what's the ink barrel?
Well, I have the last thing to put in the newspaper. Like
Okay,
the whole
so
thing.
like the ink barrel, is that like the editor
Yeah.
or the person who kind of makes the call?
Oh, I thought
what
it
goes
literally
in?
printed the paper.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I was
And then
thinking the same
my
thing.
column, and then I'll be done with the Mark show. My column was called As I See It.
Ooh.
And I'd always end it as I see it. Yep.
That,
So never get in fight with the person who owns the ink barrel because
Right.
they will win.
I
They'll
like
have the
it.
last word.
Interesting.
So my quick question is: have you guys heard of this GTP thing?
I think I saw something like
Those are just
NPR or something
letters. I
like
have
that.
no idea.
Okay, it's you have to look it up. It's ChatGTP. I'm pretty sure that's the correct producer. No,
I'm not familiar.
all right. So came out in December, like end of November, December, and it's an AI thing, and it's from the organization or company called OpenAI, and it's this robot that like you can talk to it and have
Sounds
conversations with it, and it searches the internet for answers, and it learns as it goes. And the reason I asked that is because you asked Chrissy if Mark wrote his own articles, and it actually, if you give it like parameters, it will write something. And
So
it'll
we don't
be
have to go to
in it-
school anymore and write papers?
Well, and it'll be, and that's the thing. Like people, these college professors are kind of baffled as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's
and-
plagiarism. It'll just pull excerpts from anything it sees fit.
But it's not. I mean, it's still original stuff though,
Right.
because it's like pulling from this and that and the other thing. And
Is it
it's
though?
making
like, it
a.
can really think?
Oh
Yeah.
well,
Then put it together?
Because I think there's something I saw where weren't they going to use it like in a
Chat
courtroom?
GPT. Did I say GDP? Yeah. So Chat GPT.
Yep,
Thank
that's
you,
what you said.
thank you, producer.
Didn't I just see an article though? That,
I'll read it here. It says,
Okay.
was launched as a prototype on November 30th, 2022, and quickly garnered attention for its detailed responses and articulate answers across many domains of knowledge. Its even factual accuracy was identified as a significant drawback. So it's like...
And
so-
if I thought I saw an article where wasn't it like some attorneys were against because they were going to use it in a court case?
well, I just read
Or
that,
something like
that
that.
Open AI, I
Or
think,
maybe
just
that's-
passed the bar or something.
I don't know. With all these initials, I feel like it's a BIBLE.
Yeah,
That's the book for me.
that's where we got to go here with this AI stuff.
I just have the compulsion to keep singing. I stand upon. Okay.
All right,
I'm done.
all right. Phil's done singing. All right. Now that we've covered pretty much the gambit, let's talk about a quote that I said here, years ago now, and see if Phil can remember when and why and how. And then probably this is going to be another. We'll call it a Chrissy episode.
The best ones.
Yeah, according to Chrissy's mother, the best episodes.
That's right.
So.
The whole show's better now that I'm here.
Yep. So this is the quote that I was saying when I blacked out, and I said, "When you go on a unicorn hunt, do not kill the unicorn. It's worth more alive."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could see myself saying
I
that
could
too,
hear you saying that.
and saying it in that way, like kind of dark and creepy, like it's worth more alive.
I don't think dark when you say unicorn. I think bright colors.
Well, yeah, but then I'm talking about killing it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were talking
and-
about not killing it.
Well, yeah, but also like it's worth more. Like,
Have you
that's
seen the movie
Sinister.
Legend with Tom Cruise? That's
Oh my God.
entirely the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
Is that there's one unicorn left.
Yeah. We have to save it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you?
I've never heard of.
You're not-
so-
okay.
Mark, have you heard
Well,
of this movie?
Netflix.
No, but I'm just thinking, why would you want to kill it? Just like the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. If you found them, don't kill them because everybody's searching for them.
But how are you gonna find them unless you maim them somehow?
Finding them is one thing.
Yep.
There's a little switch there that says Katie to your left.
Right there.
To your left.
Oh.
You see the yeah,
Right there.
turn that to the
Oh,
right.
does producer want to say something?
Yeah, he's gonna talk about Legend.
Oh,
So, sorry,
oh.
I just want to jump in. You're mentioning Legend on GFBS. We do a show every Friday night called Weird Cinema, where we review a random movie from the past. And Legend, we did like a fantasy movie month a couple months ago, and Legend was one of the movies we reviewed. So,
So
And then who's the villain?
oh gosh,
Curry.
the
What-
villain for
yeah.
Legend.
The last name's Curry. He was in
Tim Curry.
Tim
yeah.
Curry in
And he
Rocky
had a
Horror
killer-
Picture Show.
He had a killer devil outfit.
So yeah, he was full on like Luciferian in his appearance, but it's like Tim Curry from.
Yeah. It's
Rock-
it's a really good fantasy movie, early Tom Cruise movie, and yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
know more about it, we reviewed it. Just search like Legend Weird Cinema on
that's
podcast
that's
apps.
your assignment, Matt.
all right.
Watch Legend.
Thank you for.
right,
thank
sorry
you for
about that.
No, that's perfect. I like how we had that kind of cross show opportunity to talk about each other's shows. So check out Grand Forks Best Source and maybe Legend. And what was the name of the show?
Icky Ichabod. Oh, sorry. Icky Ichabod's Weird Cinema.
Icky Ichabod's Weird Cinema on Grand Forks Best Source. So after you get done watching, write that down. Check out Icky Ichabod. I was trying to find an acronym.
Well, is that kind of like
No.
IFYYN or what? If you know, you know.
Oh.
Yeah,
We should do a whole episode just on
WWJD.
like
acronyms.
And just speak in acronyms.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that would get nearly the likes that we get with our regular shows, but maybe It might. I mean, I think we usually get
SMH.
like 2 or 3. And that's. I mean, that might only get 1.
Oh
But-
boy.
All right, so we've got this unicorn hunt going on apparently because we're looking for this unicorn just like Tom Cruise did. And did Tom Cruise actually? Was he the one that?
I'm really
was hunting?
I'm really bad with remembering
pretty
what
sure he
happens
found
in
it.
movies.
I don't know.
I just remember the scene with the unicorn, and I remember the death.
The unicorn died.
I mean, I don't know.
Shoot,
I don't
okay,
know.
so we're not going to
Spoiler
spoil.
alert.
Are we spoiling alert
I
this
don't
or
know.
not?
The movie's
Because
like
if you
30
say
years old, so
But if you say spoiler alert, you could pretty much say whatever you want,
think so.
right? Okay, so spoiler alert.
the
does
unicorn died.
Okay. So that going back to the quote, then were they hunting? Were they trying to kill the unicorn,
I think-
or
weren't they trying to save it because it was the last one?
There was like, if I remember correctly, there was like a creature that used the girl to lure in the unicorn because the unicorn trusted the girl, and then he emerged and
It's very never-ending story.
harvest the horn.
I feel this is like a job for Scooby Doo and his crew.
I agree.
are they come? There's a new Scooby Doo coming out, right?
Oh, God,
with
really?
real people.
There's been real people ones.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Can we move on?
yeah. Anyway,
Boy, the man who doesn't wear the branded shirt calls and pipes in and says, "Let's move on."
Did your belt come unloose?
No, it's magnetic.
What was
Maybe he's
what was my
hungry.
brand of belt that I'm wearing?
You're wearing a mission belt.
A
and
mission belt,
I'm wearing a Groove Life belt.
and they're similar.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
that's a no.
All right. Okay. So with this
They
unicorn
both
hunt,
hold your pants up like.
do you? Well, yeah, but that's what belts do. But I mean, they're like cool. Anyways, so do you remember why I would have said this or when or any
I think
of it?
I do.
All right.
So this would have. So a unicorn in our industry, I have learned, is one of those things that people request that, I guess, for lack of a better term, doesn't exist, or isn't readily available, or you haven't ever seen one. And so it may exist in like a mythological sense, but you have not seen one before. So this, I think, was one of those truly custom in every way projects where I was like, I don't think I can get this for the client. And then you would have said, Phil, when you're on a unicorn hunt,
Whatever I said.
yeah, it's worth more alive, it's a great quote. It makes a ton of sense because it's true. If you can produce something and it's the only option, let's say you're like, hey, I can get this for you. Effectively, you could charge whatever you wanted because it's the only one. It has infinite value.
So that said, you talked about that in our industry, and we do have an actual official unicorn hunter in our presence, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's well known that Mark is a unicorn hunter, right?
No, that is not what he's known for.
See what I did there, Chrissy?
I did. I did see that.
Well, now that we're on our high horse, put you back your high unicorn.
My high unicorn.
Yeah,
I like that. I was trying to think of like what would my kill number be with like my unicorn hunting?
No, so you're killing the unicorns.
Well, I mean, what do you
Because
do with them if you don't?
Phil said like you find it and then you present it and then you charge whatever you want for it.
And so what do you call
So
that?
you're going on these
Acquiring?
hunts. Yeah, but you're going on these hunts and you're killing them.
I don't think so.
Well, no, one of your, our
I'm
company would
killing
do
it,
a
that's
lot.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our company would be doing a lot better if you wouldn't kill them.
Right.
That's
Because
what-
I'm
that's
feeding
what you
them.
say.
I'm feeding them glitter apples.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? Put him in a zoo and parade him around?
Yeah, just
yeah.
bring him into the unicorn house and just give him a good life.
I'm selling him.
Yeah. But you're not killing them.
I'm killing it.
You're killing. Oh, that's what you meant by killing it. Oh,
killing
okay.
it.
See, I'm not down with the lingo. You're
Can you-
killing it.
So, can I interject?
Of course,
I have a
Phil.
question for Chrissy. So, Chrissy is known in our office as the person who can find said unicorn. Like, she's really good at finding those things that, quite honestly, I would normally give up on. And, sorry, Matt.
No,
And because I'm new,
I forgive you.
I don't
Phil.
understand. but
Continue.
could you give us some examples of some unicorns that you have harvested over the years?
Oh, now
Oh
we're
my gosh.
harvesting them.
Now
Yeah,
you're
that
putting me
sounds
on the
death too.
spot.
Sorry.
No, I mean I get the term, but see,
I don't-
Do you
you didn't
recall
prepare
any?
for this
I
one,
didn't
did you?
prepare for this at all. Okay, so I have actually sold an actual unicorn. That was kind of a highlight for
Was
my
that
career.
Hold on
was that
now.
the inflatable one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Chrissy.
What?
Just so you know, over your left shoulder, there is a unicorn.
Left. See it. You
Oh, I see it.
I
I'm
do
staring at it
too.
right there.
Pink puffy unicorn.
Pink puffy unicorns.
Is that the
dancing on
label?
rainbows.
Yeah, that's the label from Half Brothers.
Okay. So first of all,
So we're not going to count the unicorn. I mean,
no, or not. No, but first of all,
Give an example.
I have told Phil on several occasions, we don't say no. That is the first step in unicorn hunting. Is we don't say no.
okay. So you've been given the mission
Yep.
of find
Second
something
step
impossible.
is you find the thing. You find the thing, no matter who sells it. I don't care if you find the company that makes it.
Okay.
Then you contact said company and say, "Will you sell to me, please?" And usually they say yes. It's that easy.
So
Did you just let out the secret of unicorn
I
hunting?
did. I've actually been training Eric a little bit on my unicorn hunting. He's like my unicorn hunting junior
Oh, okay.
because I've been giving him my tips on how I find stuff when nobody else can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to pass
Sharing
on that stuff.
the knowledge,
I like it.
the unicorn knowledge.
Now, why wouldn't you ever share that with Phil or Mark?
Well, because Phil just says no.
No, that's not true. You've helped me before.
Yeah, I've had to talk you into doing it.
Yeah, and I've had success
Yeah.
on occasion.
Phil,
I'll give an
didn't you get-
example of one that
You
you
better
helped me
watch out,
find.
Phil, because didn't you get the email the other day? That is senior.
That's
Chrissy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chrissy's now a senior
Yeah.
account manager.
That's right.
So one time where I got a request, man, I think it was for the light up, I guess, signs, for lack of a better word, that you place on top of a pizza delivery car.
Ah, yes, I remember that one.
And I was like really struggling to find anybody who had one. So I went to Chrissy's office and I'm like, Chrissy, I found it straight retail, but nobody in our industry has these. And she's like, well, did you call them?
And that's
I
step,
was-
was step one call
Yeah.
them or is that
Step
step
two
two?
is to find them. Step
Yeah.
one was to find them. Step two is to ask.
Okay.
So I was
So
aga-
you did step
aghast.
one.
I was like, well, no, I haven't called them. Can we? And you're
Did
like,
you hold on? Did you just say aghast?
I was aghast.
Can you show me your like?
What does that look like?
Yeah.
I thought he said he had gas.
Yeah. So I said, no, I had not called them. Is that an option? She's like, of course. Just ask them if they'll sell to you wholesale. And I called, and it was crazy because the lady I spoke to on the phone was like, oh, yeah, definitely. I'll just email you the wholesale price list. End of like, she already had one prepared for probably this very scenario. And she's like, oh, yeah, here it is. And so I was super excited. I found the unicorn and I sent it to the client. I'm like, here it is. And they never emailed back.
Oh,
So
boy.
there's a range of
Yeah.
emotions that come with unicorn hunting.
Oh please.
You get the email, you're like, yay, an email from a client. And then they're like, we want this thing. And they usually send you a link from Amazon or something. And you're like,
So you're like first you're way up like
you're like,
yeah,
yay.
we're
And then
working
you're
Amazon
on
is
it.
not
and
a
then-
good tool
and then
for
you're
finding
just like,
things.
oh, where am I going to find that thing? And then you dig into it. And then the elation comes when you find it.
Sounds like
and
a
you're like,
roller coaster.
Oh, I'm awesome. And then you're like, hey, can I buy this? And
So-
they're like, sure.
So at that negotiation part, where are you at? So like you're way up high when you get the email, and then you're like, oh, they sent me this thing, so way down low, and then you find it and you're way up high again.
Yeah.
Now this negotiation part, where are you at with your emotions at that point?
Um,
Is that like on the?
sometimes it's tough because you're like, I got, Amazon has it for this price. And so what am I going to sell it for? Because you can't always sell the unicorn for whatever you want.
Yeah,
There's a market value on unicorns.
right.
So then you got to figure out the value of said unicorn. And then
Okay.
when the client buys the unicorn, you're a little bit nervous because you're like, oh, I've got to buy this thing now. And then when it comes to fruition, it's just elation.
There's panic too because
Yeah.
if it's an unvetted
Yeah.
supplier,
Feels thrown in the pan.
yeah, like
There is panic.
if it's somebody you've never worked with, like I've submitted those orders, and you're like, there it goes.
Yeah, you're like, there's the poop chute.
I
Like,
really
I don't know.
hope this doesn't come back where the client rings and says, "Hey, it arrived today and it's garbage." It's like because you don't know.
You don't know.
You
But
don't
if you're
know.
lucky, the unicorn will poop rainbows.
Oh, on that note, I will say I'm so happy that we got this figured out today. We've got unicorns. We've got.
Yeah, go back and watch Legend.
Yep. Go watch the show on IIFPT from GF.
I was going to wear my unicorn t-shirt today. Next week.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.